Very good morning to all my dear students. Big thanks to you for your likes and appreciation. Yet, those who haven't subscribed, I request them to subscribe so that they can get my videos uninterrupted. Before going to pay attention towards today's topic, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been lost in your town or in your village or in a fair? What was your mindset at that time? How did you feel at that time? I'm sure that would have been a very horrible experience for you, and that experience you will never ever forget throughout your life. So, today we are going to learn a nice lesson, The Lost Child, whose author is Mulkaraj Anand. About the author, let's have some brief information about the author. Mulkaraj Anand, born on 12th December 1905 and died on 20th September 2004. Almost for a century he lived. Almost for a period of 100 years he lived. He was an Indian writer in English, notable for his depiction of the lives of the poorer castes in traditional Indian society. He is also famous for his descriptions of the lives of the poor people. In the present lesson, he describes a child who is lost in a village fair. In this lesson, the author talks about a child, and that child is lost in a fair. Now pay attention to this picture of fair. This is a very huge fair where thousands and thousands of people come together. In such a situation where there are so many people who have crowded, if you are lost, what will happen to you? Pay attention to the difficult words that you are going to see in this lesson. I request you to note these words down in your notebooks. Emerged, that is came out. Brimming over, that is to be full of something. Fascinated by, that is attracted to. Receding, that is going back. Suppress, that is to restrain or repress by controlling. To control emotion, that is suppressing. Melted, that is became tender and loving. Pale, that is dull or colorless. Gaudy, that is extremely bright and showy. Abreast, that is side by side and facing the same way. To walk abreast, that is to walk along. Abreast, it means side by side and facing the same way. Capers, a playful skipping or jumping. Throngs, huge crowds. Converging, that is gathering. Heeded, it means paid attention to. Overwhelm, that is overcome by a very strong emotion. Forbidden, that is not allowed or banned. Coarse, that is shrill, unpleasant. Hither and thither, that is here and there. Intently, it means with intention, with some purpose. Congested, that is full of. Hefty, that is very large and heavy. Thrust, that is push. Knocked, that is hit. Brutal, it means harsh or rough. Trampled, that is crushed, normally under feet. Soothe, that is comfort or console. Pleaded, that is requested. These were the difficult words Now pay attention to the summary of the lesson. It was the festival of spring. The people of the village came out of their houses in colorful dresses and walked towards the fair. It was the season of spring, and you know very well, spring is enjoyed everywhere because the nature is very pleasant at that time. And it was the day of fair, for which the people were going to the fair. They had come out of their houses and they had worn colorful dresses and they were all walking to the fair. A child was going to the fair with his parents. There was a child who was walking along with his father and mother. He was very happy and excited because he was going to that fair. He was attracted to the stalls of toys and sweets, and the stalls or the shops which were lined along the road of the fair. He was attracted to them. Being attracted to all these things on his way, his father got angry, but his mother tried to divert his attention towards other things. The child was attracted to all these things, and because of this, the child was left behind. And when the child was left behind, his father got angry with him. But his mother, with her love, tried to change his mind. She tried to divert his attention to other things. The child moved on, but once again he lagged behind, as he was fascinated by many other things on his way. The child started walking ahead, but once again he lagged behind. He was left behind because again he was attracted, fascinated, that is, attracted by many other things while he was on his way. When they neared the village, the child wanted the various things on the stalls. And when they came to the village fair, when they came near to the village fair, there were so many things that the child had wanted. His mouth watered seeing sweets decorated with gold and leaves. And when he came to the sweet shop, in fact he did not come to the sweet shop, but he was passing by that sweet shop, and very nicely decorated sweets were kept in the shop, and he was attracted to them. He wanted his favorite burfi, but knowing that his parents would refuse him, giving the reason he was greedy, he moved on. The child was attracted to the sweets. His mouth watered seeing the sweets, seeing the burfi, but he did not ask for it because he knew very well his parents would call that you are a greedy boy, you don't know how to behave, घर में खाने को नहीं मिलता है क्या तुझे. So in this way, the child thought that he would be insulted and scolded. So he moved on. Then he saw beautiful garlands of gulmohar, but didn't ask for it as well. Then he saw the flowers and the garlands of gulmohar. He still then did not ask for them because he knew the usual answer. Further he saw balloons, the beautiful balloons of red, green, blue, yellow, lavender, white, black spotted. So huge variety was there in the balloons. So his mind was also attracted to the balloons. But he knew very well that his parents would refuse him, stating that he was too old to play with balloons. But he knew the reason, that his parents would say that you are not a small boy now, you have grown up, so don't ask for it. Hence, what happened? He went ahead. Having gone ahead, he saw a snake charmer and a roundabout swing. So when he went ahead, he saw a snake charmer. A man was playing with a snake, with his flute, with his pungi. He saw that and he wanted to stay there for some time, seeing the hypnotic movement of the snake, listening to that shrill coarse music of pungi. He wanted to stay there, but he was not allowed to stay there also. And a roundabout swing. Then he finally came to a roundabout where, in the whirling motion, where in that circular motion, the things move, and he wanted to be there in that roundabout to enjoy. So you can see this is the first picture, and in this picture this is the first thing that the child had wanted. The beautifully decorated sweets are kept there, and surely when you see all these things your mouth waters. Then he saw the garlands of gulmohar. The sweet scent was coming out of the flowers. Then next he saw the beautifully colored balloons. And after that he saw the shrill coarse music being played on pungi to entertain the hooded cobra. He wanted to hear it out, but he was not allowed. Then lastly he saw the roundabout, and he wanted to have the opportunity to sit in this roundabout and enjoy the rounds in the circular movement. But what happened? He was not allowed. As he stopped to ask his parents for the permission to enjoy the swing, to his surprise, there was no reply. And there came now a strong emotion in his mind. He made his mind strong and he asked his parents, now I want to go to that whirlpool, I want to go to that roundabout. But he was surprised because there was no reply. When he looked back, his parents were not there. Neither his father nor his mother was there. Neither his father nor his mother was there. So his parents were not there. When he looked back, now the child realized that he was lost in the fair. And now there was a huge tension, huge worry for the child because he was lost in the fair. Panic stricken, he ran here and there, crying for his father and mother. Panic stricken, that is, he was extremely frightened. And because of that fear, he ran here and there, looking for his parents. But he could not find them. He could not find his parents. He came running looking for his parents at the shrine. Shrine, that is the main temple. That fair, in that fair there was a shrine, there was a temple. He thought that his parents would have gone there. He came running there also, where there was the huge crowd. But do you think that his parents were there? No, his parents were also not found there. Suddenly, a kind-hearted man took him up in his arms and comforted the bitterly crying child. Then, suddenly there was a kind-hearted man. He held that boy in his arms and he asked the boy, why are you crying, child? What has happened to you? Don't worry, I am there with you. Are there no parents of yours in the fair? Have you been lost? Don't bother, don't worry, I am there to help you out. He asked if he would like to have a joyride at the roundabout, but the child sobbed, I want my father, I want my mother. in order to divert the child's tension, to change his mind from his worry, the man offered the child for a joyride at the roundabout. But now the boy did not want the ride on the roundabout. He just sobbed, "I want my father, I want my mother." Further, the man tried to divert his attention to the snake charmer's pungi, that is, the shrill flute like music instrument. Then they moved on. Now the man showed that child the snake charmer's game, the snake charmer's play. And the man told him, the man advised him or suggested him to listen to the flute to see the hypnotic moving movements of the cobra. But the child was not interested in that now. He just sobbed. He was crying. And he just said, "I want my mother. I want my father." Further, the man offered him balloons. The man told him, "Don't worry. I will give you balloons, child." Then the man even offered him garlands of gulmohar. Further, they went to the sweet shop respectively, but the child kept on sobbing, "I want my father, I want my mother." After the snake charmer's location, they moved further at the shop of that balloon seller. The man offered him balloons, but the child did not even look at the balloons. The child just cried for his father and mother. Then again they moved on, they moved further, they went ahead, and now the man showed him the garlands of gulmohar. Do you think the child wanted that? No. Earlier he wanted when his parents were there with him, but now, in the absence of his parents, do you think the child wanted it any longer? No. The child did not want the garlands of gulmohar. And again they came to the first thing which they had seen in the very beginning, and that was the sweets. Now, when the man was offering the child the sweets, even his favorite food item, burfi, to the child did not want it. The child only wanted his father and mother. So, parents are the most precious thing on this earth, and that is what the child wanted. So, you can see here in the picture what things the child wanted in sequence. Now, the sequence is reversed. The child wanted the joy ride at the last. Now, when the man offered him, that became the first thing, but the child did not want it. When the man took the child to the snake charmer, when he offered this second thing to the child to listen to, the boy did not want it. He just wanted his father and mother. And then they moved to that balloon seller, and the man offered him balloons. Still then the child did not want the balloons, and they came now to the shop of the garland of gulmohar. Even then the boy did not want even a single garland or a single flower. He just wanted his father. Then they come to the favorite sweet shop, where beautifully colored, beautifully decorated sweets are kept. Still then the child did not want a single piece of sweets. The child just wanted his father and mother. Hope you have understood the lesson. There can be several interpretations of this lesson. You know, the life is like a fair, and we are all the travelers in this fair. And when we are attracted to all these outside things, it is God who gets angry. Yet when we are lost, God is not there. We are just moving here and there. In such a situation, some saint like person comes in the life, and that person helps out. So this can be the interpretation. Hope you have fully understood the lesson. Now let's pay attention to the questions. We have learned the lesson in details. I hope you may not have any difficulty in answering these questions. The first question: what are the things the child sees on his way to the fair? Why does he lag behind? Why was he left behind all the times? Second question: in the fair he wants many things. What are they? What are those things that he wanted? We saw the pictures. Why does he move on without waiting for an answer? Third question: when does he realize that he has lost his way? How have his anxiety and insecurity been described? Anxiety, that is worry. How his worry and feeling of insecurity have been described? That you have to answer here. Fourth question: why does the lost child lose interest in the things that he had wanted earlier? Earlier, so many things he had wanted, but now why does he lose his interest in those things? Why does he not want these things? The fifth question: what do you think happens in the end? Does the child find his parents? You have to answer. I hope you have fully understood the lesson. Thank you very much, and may the Almighty God bless all of you.